15 useful facts. 1. It's easier to understand what's going on in the world when you mentally mute people's narratives about what's going on and just look at what the material movements of wealth, resources, weapons, and people are. That's how you separate what's real from the manipulations and empty narrative fluff, how you see who's doing the taking and hoarding, and how you figure out who the real aggressors are in international conflicts. 2. The three most overlooked and underappreciated aspects of the human experience are consciousness, the extent to which conditioned thought patterns dictate our lives, and the influence of propaganda. 3. We live in a civilization that's so pervasively steeped in lies and manipulations that the only way to have a truth-based relationship with reality is to drop all your assumptions and premises about what's true and begin examining everything from the very beginning with fresh eyes. 4. The phenomenon known as spiritual enlightenment is a real thing which we are all capable of realizing, and the fact that this potential exists within our species has many far-reaching implications for what we are capable of attaining as a civilization. 5. Everything is beautiful. Not seeing the beauty in something is always the failure of the perceiver, not the thing being perceived. 6. Happiness is the natural default position of human consciousness. It's only through egoic delusions that we trick ourselves into unhappiness. 7. There are strange, untapped potentials within our species which our philosophies don't touch on, our religions don't anticipate, our academia doesn't acknowledge, and our common worldviews don't account for. 8. Reality is non-dual. There's no real separation between the perceiver and that which is perceived, or between any of the objects in sense perception. All is indivisible. 9. The self is an illusion held together by believed mental narratives and fear-based energetic fixations. This illusion can be seen through and transcended. 10. It's possible for two people to keep falling more and more deeply in love with each other for their entire lives, as long as they're both intensely curious about each other, and both keep growing and discovering new parts of themselves to love. 11. The feeling of guilt is useless and can be safely dropped entirely. The only people who might benefit from feeling some guilt are the sociopaths and psychopaths among us who never experience it anyway. For those among us with healthy empathy centers, guilt is unnecessary to motivate good behavior and often becomes a tool that manipulators use to try and control us. 12. Antisocial personality disorder, more commonly known as sociopathy and psychopathy, is one of the greatest obstacles to human thriving. That there really are creatures among us who don't think or feel like the rest of us do, and frequently use their lack of empathy to climb the ladders of wealth and power, sounds made up, and even sounds like the basis of many racist belief systems, but it is a fact. Not until our species becomes so emotionally intelligent and awake that sociopaths and psychopaths are unable to thrive in it or go unseen will this problem disappear. 13. You can recognize sociopaths, psychopaths, and other narcissists in your life by paying attention to how much energy they pour into convincing you to believe stories about others, about themselves, and especially about you. Someone who often spends energy trying to get you to believe negative things about yourself is someone you should get out of your life as quickly as possible. 14. There really is a struggle in our world between light and darkness, though it doesn't look how the movies tell us to expect it. Those in power seek to keep their dark deeds hidden in darkness by maintaining government secrecy, propaganda, and censorship. The manipulators in our own lives seek to keep their manipulations and misdeeds hidden in the same way. Even within our own personal psychology, there are dysfunctional structures which seek to remain hidden in the unconscious. Humanity's struggle is to bring all that into the light. 15. A sincere devotion to knowing the truth is the path toward happiness, health, and harmony, for humans as individuals and for humanity as a collective. Knowing what's true about ourselves uncovers our inner dysfunctionality and leads to healing and enlightenment. Knowing what's true about our world leads to an understanding of the abusive nature of our power structures and societal systems. Continually striving toward the light of truth will bring us all home.